So, I've been doing lots of errands. And we went and picked up Sonny's remains. And where I'm headed now is to an auction. I'll tell you where I went today. I have Sonny's remains and Joe's remains. They're ashes, you know. And I want to get, it's called a sofa table. And I want to put it in our entryway. And I want to put their ashes and their pictures on the sofa table in the entryway. So today we had to go to Walmart and we got a few things and went to I got them in here, but I'm driving, I can't dig them out. Got a few Targets, you know, fun Targets. One of them you screw into a tree and it's got these little metal things that flip around. We had a real blast the other day shooting that pellet rifle, and I've ordered another one. It's a refurbished one from Gamo. I'm going to say Gamo, probably wrong, but that's the way I'm going to say it. Anyway, I ordered a refurbished single shot from Gamo, and they actually shipped it today, so I should have that sometime next week. And I bought some Targets to shoot to sight again. That was today. And then we went to Ashley's Furniture to look at sofa tables. Oh my God, what the hell happened to furniture? There were $500 and $600. One of them was $700 for just a bland sofa table, nothing special. I was shocked. So I looked on Facebook Marketplace, and here in Wascom, where I live, there's an auction called Cliff's Auction, and he's south of Wascom, 5 or 6 miles. And they happen to have 2 sofa tables. One I don't really like, and the other one, it looks like it might be an antique, so it might be expensive. But if it's an auction, you know, they might take $50 for it. You know, if they take $50 for it, here's the thing. Bev has one. Here's another reason I want it. Maybe I shouldn't say this. I'm going to say it anyway, because I say a lot of shit I shouldn't say. I want to put, boy, this is a busy intersection here. I really got to pay attention. There's like 9 driveways, and everybody's in a hurry. So I want to put my shotgun in it. And the one that I want from Bev has a lid that lifts up, so you have the whole length of the sofa table to put a long item in. And that item for me is a 12 gauge with slugs already loaded, and I want to leave it there. Traffic. I almost had somebody hit me on the interstate. I'm telling you, people have just become reckless. And it was a girl. I mean, she forced me off into the breakdown lane. Charlie was screaming. I was yelling unpleasant things. I looked over at her, and it's a girl, and she's got her phone like this, and she's yelling into her phone. So she was having a fight with somebody, and just about hit me. I mean, God, I don't know what made me look. You know, I was on the interstate, cruise set, minding my own business. I just happened to look over, and she's coming over further, and if I hadn't moved over in the breakdown lane, she'd have hit me. Yeah, that was close. So, man, and I guess what I'm leading up to is society. My God, people are changing into animals, angry, vicious animals, and I feel like I have to put more effort into protecting my home. You know, I have guns in strategic places, but I want to keep one out in my living room near the door. That's my big gun with 1-ounce slugs. And, you know, I have my other pistols that I have 2. I got one in my pocket now, but I don't sleep with one, you know, on me. So, anyway, that's what we've been doing. I haven't done nothing, which is why I don't have any videos. And tomorrow, what was I going to do tomorrow? I forget. Yeah, I can't even remember. Charlie wanted me to do something, and she asked me if I would do it tomorrow, and I said yes, and I already forgot. Yeah, my wife says, she complains about me, and she says I never listen or something like that. Anyway, if I get this at the auction, I'll show it to you. Anyway, it's going to Bev, and Bev is going to trade me one if I get this. She said she would give it to me, but I don't want to leave her with nothing to set stuff on. I mean, she's using it, so I don't want to just take it and leave her with, you know, an empty space and all the stuff that she had on it, nowhere to set it. So I'm going to see if I can get this. I already showed it to her, and she was okay with it, and she didn't want me to spend a lot of money on it. So we'll see. And if I get it, this is my second auction. My first auction I went to in Wascom, and that was probably 6 or 7 years ago. I'll never go back there again. And every seat I sat in was reserved, and people let me know, like, you're in my seat. How am I in your seat? Where am I supposed to sit? And at that point, it wasn't long after I got hurt, and standing was really painful. So I left. I didn't even stay long enough for the auction. I just got shooed out of so many seats that I was starting to get a little PO'd, and I just left. Anyway, they had junk, and the auction had started. And, you know, sometimes I think people who go to these auctions are like gamblers. They don't care how much they pay for something. They just want to win the bid. So they may spend $50 on an item that's worth $5, but in their mind they've won. They beat everybody else, you know. And I think auctions attract those types, the gambling addicts, where they'll spend, you know, $1,000 and then brag about winning a $20 ticket. I've known people like that, and yeah. When I left that auction there, they had just started, and I had looked at some of the stuff they were selling. Here we go, this auction right here. All right. And here's another thing. The people stand around and stare at you if they're like regulars and they come here all the time. And they act like you're not supposed to come there, or you're a competition. It's very weird. Auctions are very weird, and they attract a lot of odd people. I'm a little early. No, they said they open at 4:30 to let you inspect the stuff, and I am a little early. All right, if I get it, I'll show it to you. So, I'm not even staying. I went in, I found the one I was wanting to bid on, and somebody had already put a price on it of $110, and $100 was my cutoff. And I looked at some of the other stuff, and just ridiculous reserve prices. So, and then, wow. So, same thing, all the seats were reserved. And so I kind of suspect that auctions, because the ridiculous prices on stuff, the ridiculous reserves on, not everything had a reserve on it, but a lot of the stuff did, and the reserves were more than I would ever bid on some of that junk. It's just junk. Tchotchkes, knickknacks, thingamajigs, nothing, you know, no tools. I mean, nothing. There were some tools. There were some DeWalt tools, and they were wore out, and they were asking, you know, nearly new price. Just ridiculous. So I believe that people who go to these auctions are the alcoholic types, or the people who are addicted to gambling. You know, the addictive types of people, because they couldn't possibly be thinking they're getting bargains, because none of this stuff was valuable, was worth even the reserve prices. And, you know, one other time I went to an estate sale, only once, and my God, the behavior of some of them people. I'm going 45 on this little skinny road, and I'm getting tailgated. I'm not going to go any faster. I'm just not. There's no breakdown lane. There's no center line on the road. It's a little country road with potholes and bumps, and Jeez. You know, when you live on a road and you're used to it, you know where all the potholes and bumps are and cracks, and then somebody like me comes along and I have no idea how bad this road is until I go around a pothole. All right, they moved back a little bit, so they must realize that tailgating me wasn't going to work. Anyway, I went to an estate sale, me and Charlie, and there's people parking on grass of yards that had nothing to do with the estate sale. There was people coming out of their houses getting really pissed at people. I mean, they were knocking each other over. It was embarrassing. I was embarrassed for these people that were going in there, and I felt a bunch of things. It was a whole lot of things. You know, the people that died, who spent a lifetime collecting stuff and putting things in their home that meant something to them, or even something as simple as a pan. Who knows how many Thanksgiving dinners that pan had prepared for a family. And here people were acting like heathens, animals, over, you know, pennies worth of stuff, and tripping over each other and being rude to each other, and trying to beat the next guy to this bargain. Just, it was sort of like Black Friday. I want nothing to do with it. And there is a distinct difference between people like that and people like me. And there's a clear divide. And there is nothing that I want bad enough to behave like that. So, I'm headed back to the house. And, you know, we looked at Walmart. Walmart has some really cheap looking sofa tables. You know, press wood, particle board, that kind of stuff. And, something will come along. Alrighty, have a good, what is today? Oh, Friday. So I want to tell you to have a good Saturday. Oh, I did take a homeless pie home, so that was a major accomplishment. And that car is still behind me. See ya. I'm home. I was just telling my wife about my experience there. And we got to thinking, we went to a storage auction one time, just one time. And this was when all the, you know, the TV shows about the storage auctions were on. And so we went to one. It was local. And it was the same thing. There was this storage building with about $30 worth of junk in it. And there was about 20 people bidding on this junk. And we were just bewildered. You could look at this, any unskilled person who had never bought and sold could look in there and see this junk was probably worth 20 or 30 bucks. And it went for 300 bucks. It was mind-blowing. So I'm convinced that, I gotta close my gate here, that's what I'm doing outside. I'm convinced that much of this storage sales and estate sales and auctions that people go to them are they're not realistic about the prices, that's for sure, because I've seen people paying ridiculous prices for crap, for junk they couldn't resell. So I thought, well, maybe these people are all here because they have like flea markets or something and they want to buy stuff cheap and then resell it. Well, they couldn't because they were paying ridiculously high prices that no one would ever pay. And I experienced this one other time. It was at a flea market. This flea market, it's been open for 30, 40, 45 years. Well, about 25 years ago, there was this broken fishing rod at one of the booths. And I asked the guy how much he wanted. The tip had broke off, and I could have used it. It was just catfishing rod, you know. I would have used it for catfish. And he wanted, you know, brand new fishing rod price. Not the reel, just the rod. And I said, well, man, you can get a brand new rod at Walmart for that kind of money. And he said, well, go buy it at Walmart. Good enough. So I never went back there, I say. And about 20 years later, Charlie and I went there. Same booth, same old guy, same fishing rod. He never sold it. 20 years he had that fishing rod, that broken tip fishing rod. And I believe there's a culture of people that deal in junk and used stuff And I think it's addictive, and it's a very, very strange people that go to these places, and it's a bad feeling. It's sort of like a pawn shop. I don't go to pawn shops, and I used to, but I haven't been to a pawn shop in probably 20 years. And the reason is, nobody goes to a pawn shop under good circumstances. Pawn shops don't come across the stuff that they sell under good circumstances. People who bring stuff to pawn shops are desperate, and they get pennies on the dollar and taken advantage of. And some of the stuff is stolen. You know, it might be jewelry, it might be a microwave that doesn't belong to them, it might be jewelry from a grandmother's house, you know, stuff that can't be traced or found out. And I don't deal with pawn shops anymore. There might be some legitimate people out there who make absolutely certain that things they buy are not stolen, but I don't want no part of it. And that's, to me, the estate sale people, the auctions, the pawn shops, flea market people. The same people kind of revolve in this little circuit of used junk. And me, I made up my mind that I'd rather pay full price for something than be involved with scammers and thieves and pushy people and rude people and people who trample you to get $20 off on a TV. And I know my finger's over the seeing hole there, but alrighty, now I'm gone. I'm gonna lock up, park my truck, and see you tomorrow. Well, Mo at 65 Ford, everybody knows 65 Ford, he told me that the best blades he had tried for this Portaband are the Makita blades, and he said they were a little more expensive, and they were like $28 for 3, free shipping. And I gave 21 for those junk blades that I got. This blade, I mean, you can just see the teeth that are missing on it, and it was immediate. I didn't even get halfway through this one cut here, and it was already not wanting to cut anymore. So I'm gonna try these, and if they are the best, they're worth paying extra for, because you get more cuts out of them. It just makes mathematical sense. Anyway, I'm only telling you this because I got to show you the gigantic box they shipped that in. Just, it blows me away. Yeah, we'll head that way. That box is 2 foot by 4 foot by 6 inches deep, and they shipped my wife's air rifle in there, and that air rifle took up about 2.5 inches of the box and about 3.5 foot of it. So, and then on top of that, they just threw a couple of pieces of brown paper in there, like that was going to do anything. Okay, I'm going to show you the other box that these blades just came in. But in their defense, they put about, 20 feet of bubble wrap in there. That's a gigantic box, gigantic. Oh, you poor thing. Look at you here all alone. You look scared. Are you scared? Let's see, I want the big one or the little one?